welcome back to Third Man's Cricket Show. I am Parth Rathore, and we have Jayendra and Ashwin with us for the post-match session. An even session, in my opinion, for both the sides. India did start off great, a good 62-run opening stand between Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma before Kyle Jamieson picked Rohit Sharma out on 34. And soon we saw Neil Wagner coming in and striking in his very first over, dismissing Shubman Gill. And now, as it stands, Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara, the pillars of Indian team, are batting. Virat Kohli batting at 6, and Pujara, as we expect him to start his innings, he's batting on 0 after playing 24 balls. Let's come to you, Jayendra, first. What do you think about how the session has panned out for the Indian side?
Yeah, it was a brilliant session, and with looking at the conditions, it was a great start. Both Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill started really very well in front of those two bowlers, which we were talking about since the match is decided that Saudi and Trent Bolt will dominate Indian openers and batsmen. But we fought really well. Shubman Gill, especially Shubman Gill, who is batted excellently, his footwork, his shot picking, his defense was at the top of his game. And Rohit Sharma, we know he's the great quality batsman. So don't nothing much to say about his batting skill. But apart from this, we got a very good opening stand. We didn't allow Saudi and Trent Bolt to settle down on this pitch, and we keep disturbing their bowling. So it was a really good start. But now we are little in difficult situation that we are lost 2 wickets in quick succession. But otherwise, it was a really good session for Indian side.
Definitely, honestly, no one would have expected the Indian openers to bat so well, seeing the records in the past. But I guess everyone is happy the way the openers carried on and started off the innings. But Ashwin, coming to you, how do you think the session has panned out for the Kiwis? What would be going on in Kane Williamson's head right now?
Actually, in the current situation, actually he must be the happy man among him and Virat Kohli. He will be more happy because they didn't get the start they expected to get. Because we have seen that Tim Southee going for 25 runs in his first 5 overs. That's actually a bad sign for New Zealand. But the way the other two bowlers, Jamieson and Neil Wagner, took the 2 wickets, it was very much. It is really appreciable. And if we see that the New Zealand bowlers, especially Bolt and Tim Southee, were struggling to find the correct length and line. So it was a concerning moment for Williamson at the start, but till the time when Jameson bowled that full length ball and took the wicket of Rohit Sharma, the things got changed, and we see that Pujara hasn't scored a run yet, and Virat Kohli is also trying to score. He's also there are two fresh batsmen, so it's going to be pretty much a tough job on India. On looking like that, it's the game is on New Zealand's hand at the time.
When you say there are two fresh batsmen, they are stalwarts of Indian batting lineup. They are the most dependable batsmen of our side. So and I can see a lot of comments over here telling that we need a partnership from both our pillars. We need a partnership from both our experienced batsmen. And as Abhinav rightly says over here, the two dismissals show that you are never really settled when you're playing in English conditions. But as both of you mentioned about the threats that was being spoken of earlier about threats of Trent Bolt and Tim Southee with the new ball, we did see the ball swinging a lot when Tim Southee was bowling. But let me tell you, there was not a single maiden over in their entire 11 over spell, which both the bowlers bowled. Not a single maiden over, not a single wicket taking chance in that entire 11 over. So, Jayendra, tell us about the way, the approach of the Indian batsman. We saw Shubman Gill was batting way outside the crease. At times, he was even stepping out. So, tell us about the mindset and the approach that the Indian batsman adopted.
Yeah, as I said in the first that we batted really very well when we know that these two bowlers can take a very quick wickets and we can outcast our batting style. But still, our batsmen played a really very crucial and important 10 overs. That starting 10 overs part when the new ball swings a lot And when to a Trent Bolt and Saudi bowling, we know that they can. We expect them to swing the ball a lot. But as you mentioned, Shubman Gill is stepping outside, and sometimes he's way outside his crease. That is a very good sign of a young cricketer, that he is analyzing the bowler very well and playing according to his strengths. And yeah, their mindset was perfectly. But as Neil Wagner took his wicket with the outside off, yeah, that's a poor part. And now, as you mentioned, that our two pillars, that Cheteshwar Pujara and Virat Kohli, yeah, we need those two to play a good inning. We need those two to stand there and give us some valuable runs to our side.
Definitely. And Ashwin, what are your views on the way the Indian batsmen approached the opening spell of Trent Bolt and Tim Southee?
Actually, to be frank, I didn't expect it 2 wickets to fall in the first session. On seeing the way that Rohit and Gill batted, because we see that actually they didn't show any sign of struggle because they were so much confident. They left the ball so easily, and the time when the New Zealand bowlers missed their length and line, they punished them. Actually, it was a very good start for the team. And we also see the how, because before coming to this match, we seen how Gill, because there was so much criticism on Gill regarding his batting stance and the position and the way he uses his feet. But this time, I think he made it a bit more accurate, and he was stepping outside the crease at the time, and he was playing the ball. He was watching the ball really well. So I think he has also developed brilliantly. But that catch from Tim Southee and that great ball from Jamison turned everything.
And as you mentioned about the catch, even Amok is really, delightful the way the catch has been taken. And we did discuss when the England New Zealand series was going on that the slip cordon of New Zealand is the best right now in world cricket, and they did show it to us again today. But talking about the bowling, both of you said about the line and length of the New Zealand bowl, especially the opening spell of Tim Southee and Trent Bolt. There was an analysis shown uh, that there were hardly few balls that were hitting the stump, that were in line with the stumps. Only 7 to 8 balls that were being bowled by the four frontline seamers were hitting the stumps. Was this an error on part of the New Zealand bowlers, or was it their tactical approach of bowling more and more outswinging deliveries to the Indian batsmen? Jayendra, you go first.
I think it was a tactical approach, because we know that most of our batsmen are very strong on offside. So taking the ball away from the batsman will work as a. I think this is what New Zealand bowlers mindset. So they are keep bowling on the fuller length and taking the ball away from our batsmen. And a sudden in swinger was there to disturb our batsmen. So I think it was a clear tactical mindset from New Zealand bowlers. But as I said, we played really well that mindset, and we responded excellently.
And Ashwin, what are your views on the same?
Yeah, actually, it was a tactical move, as what Jendra mentioned. But at some point of the time, I also thought like that some bowlers, especially Bolt and Tim Southee, missing their because they weren't going according to the plan. But but on the other hand, we saw how the other bowlers stepped up. That's what we need from team. Tim Southee and Bolt are two star bowlers for the team, and when they are not performing well or when they are making small errors, we see the rising young bowlers like KL Jamison, or not even a proper bowler like Colin de Grandom rising to the situation. So that makes the team much more stronger and danger.
Yeah, and definitely, I also feel, of course, yes, it was a tactical approach because you see both the wickets that fell, they were also slightly outswing. Shubman Gill's wicket was also the ball was angling outside off stump. But at times I felt that New Zealand should have, at times gone with the straighter delivery as well as we saw what happened between Rohit Sharma and Colin de Grandhomme. Of course, that there was an inside edge on that delivery, which Kane Williamson had taken the review. But coming on that particular point, the Kane Williamson review. Was that desperation from Williamson to get a wicket, or what? I personally didn't see any point of Williamson taking a review, but in my opinion, it was complete desperation. What do you think, Jayendra?
Yeah, I thought it was a strange decision to take a review, because there were clearly two sounds. that one is from bat and other from pad. And we also saw in the ultras that it was a clear spike on the bat. But I think it was an aspiration from the Kane Williamson, or I think he's trying to put some pressure on the batsman by taking reviews and keeping them in little bit worry that they should play little with concern and more defensively, because we are seeing that Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill both are punishing all the bowlers when the bad delivery was bowled. So he was trying to put some pressure by taking this review. So I guess yeah, that's a little aspiration from Kane Williamson's side.
And Amog over here says Wagner bowling really well, difficult to make out which ball is coming in and which one's holding its line. And Sanmay over here asks, did New Zealand bring Wagner a bit too late? Ashwin, you answer this question. Do you think that Wagner was brought in a bit too late into the bowling lineup, or was he given the ball at the very perfect moment?
I think, in my opinion, I think Wagner should have been brought 2 3 overs earlier, because especially when the other two main bowlers are not bowling on the correct length and line, we need a bowler like Wagner who's very much strict to his line and length. He's so much perfect and accurate. We saw that in the second and the second or the third ball. I guess he took the wicket. I think it was on the second ball. So that's because of his strict line and length. So such a bowler should have been brought earlier, especially in the case when a star bowler like Tim Southey was going for a run. But as De Grandhomme and Jamieson struck back with that maiden overs and all, so I think that made Kane Williamson stop of thinking of bringing Neil Wagner earlier. I think that was the
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, exactly. Because we were 41 for 0 in 11 overs, and then we saw, if I'm not wrong, three consecutive maiden overs came in, and from there on, even our scoring rate slightly slowed down. But see, of course, scoring rate is not that big of an issue over it. It's not T20. We are playing Test cricket, but of course, it was a very even, in my opinion, it was a very even uh, session for both the sides. And Parth over here says Rohit and Gill were looking comfortable with three bowlers. That's when Kane thought to make a change. Do you think, Jayendra, that this was what exactly that was going on in Williamson's mind? That these three are settled now. Let them be settled, and then I'll go in for a change. Do you think that was a strategy that Williamson actually opted for?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a strategy, because the Rohit and Gill was hitting the all three ballers which Kane brought in the starting. But when he saw that these both three are settled, the two are settled and hitting us and scoring runs, he made a change, and it's what and we all say that it was a perfect change. I
Hello.
I think there's an issue from his part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hello. Uh, Okay, I guess Jayendra is facing some network issues, but Ashwin, let me come to you right now. Of course, see, we are slightly in the back foot with two successive wickets. What should be the approach of Cheteshwar Pujara and Virat Kohli? Of course, see, Pujara's game is clear. We know the way Pujara plays. He will be going for defending the balls and rotate the strike and let Kohli go for the runs. But because right now Kohli's role is very important. He is the captain of our team. What should what should be his mindset when he comes out for the second? Because of course this second session will be really, every session is important, but of course the second session will also be a very important session to at least set the tone for either of the teams. So what do you think, Ashwin? What should be the mindset of Virat Kohli right now?
Yeah, actually, Kohli should look for a bit more aggressive approach, because we know Pujara's game. If we had someone like a Rishabh Pant on the other side, then we could have asked Kohli to go a bit slow. But someone like a Pujara is there, so I think he is the one who's gonna stop the back bowlers and who's gonna change the strike. And Kohli should look to attack the bowlers. I think that would be the strategy. And I think in this situation, if a wicket falls down, I think before Rahane, Rishabh Pant should come in, because he's the yeah, actually, you might feel that it's a bit strange, but I think if this is the approach going, and I think New Zealand is still very much. They are pressurizing on India because it's building on India. Because as we told, after 11 overs we had 41 runs, and after then we lacked in scoring runs. So in that case, I think Rishabh Pant should come in so that we can also have a left and right hand combination as well. So
That's a really bold statement. And Sanmay over here says Gill and Rohit, batted a mixture of attack and defense. Of course, the pair that is set, which is on the pitch right now, they are a mixture of attack and defense, but they are individually a pair of attack and defense because Virat Kohli is kind of an aggressive batsman and Pujara is a very defensive batsman. But what Gill and Rohit did, they were both mixing their own batting style. At times, both were attacking. At times, both were playing defensive. So, do you think that Pujara should also slightly look to go for the bowlers the way Shubman Gill was doing? Stepping out of the crease and hitting the balls.
Sorry, Parth, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what I was saying is that Sanmai said that both Gill and Rohit Sharma they were batting attackingly and defensively both. They were batting it as a mix. But as we know that Pujara is a completely defensive kind of batsman, especially at the start of the innings. So do you think that Pujara should also little bit try to go for the ball the way Shubman Gill was doing, stepping outside and hitting the balls, straight drives? Do you think that Pujara should also opt for that approach slightly?
I think no. He's a natural defensive player. He's known for his defending his ball. What we saw in Australian tour, that he knows for how to defend a perfect ball. All bouncers, if it is their bouncer good length, he can defend any ball. So he should stick to his game plan. I want to say that if he gone for little offensive, and if he lost his wicket because of his opposite playing style, so it will make us difficult to score runs, or we needs it will make difficult to build partnership ahead in the game. So I don't think so that Pujara should risk anything, change anything in his batting style. He should stick to his plan, play a defensive game that he is playing for first 24 balls. Yeah, he should stick to his game. Yeah,
We love when Pujara, tires the
yeah.
opposition bowler. He makes them regret bowling. Bowl क्यों डाल रहे
He,
हो
fr-
मेरे
he
को?
he frustrates the bowler a lot.
Exactly, and when you have such a lethal pace attack in front of you, you really need. So I completely agree to what you say, Jendra. And over here, Sachit in the comments says, I feel Rahane has the biggest responsibility in this match to survive and carry the team forward. Virat Kohli performing can be a icing on the cake, but Rahane's innings is the most crucial. Ashwin, what do you reckon of Sachit's statement over here?
I actually think I was thinking about a stat regarding Rahane that whenever he scores a century, India doesn't lose a
Yeah,
match.
whenever he has scored a century, India has never lost a
Yeah.
match.
So if he does the same today, also, I will be really happy. But we have to see what's going to be in the bowler set, because if in the batsman set, because if a wicket falls earlier in the start of the second session, that would be a pressure moment for Rahane if he's coming ahead of if he's coming against what I said earlier. So if he's coming, he'll be surely
Ahead
on
of
pressure because.
after Rishabh Pant.
Yeah, no, actually, I mentioned that Rishabh Pant will be coming
Yeah,
next.
yeah, you
Ah,
said Rishabh Pant will come before Rahane. So, yeah,
mhm. So if he's coming next, and after wicket is falling earlier, I think he would be really the team, the overall team will be in a great pressure mode. So at that time, we have to see how he adapts to this situation because he's an experienced player. He can, but we have to see how he will because of the pitch conditions as well. Because it's much more in favor of New Zealand at the point of time. So we have to see how this is going to work.
definitely. And of course, Ajinkya Rahane will have a very crucial role because since that Melbourne century, Ajinkya Rahane hasn't been in the best of the forms that we know him. But I personally feel that a lot relies on how much our lower order scores. Because those extra bonus runs which we get, I feel are going to be really crucial and really handy. But the post lunch session will be starting. in 15 minutes or so. Quickly, Jayendra, your predictions for what is going to come in the coming two sessions. What do you think will happen in the second and the third session, Jayendra?
What I think that India will score at least that. I think at the end of the day, India score will be 220 to 30. Uh, yeah, it is a. I feel that they can score this much because we have a very strong lineup batting. We have a good lower order players also, so they can score. But I feel that if New Zealand bowlers, if we give New Zealand bowlers the momentum, they will wrap up the session very quickly for us. So it was a bit 50-50 for me for next session.
And Ashwin, what are your predictions?
Actually, I want Pujara to play that defensive role, and I want the New Zealand bowlers to think, why am I bowling? I want to, and actually, if that's the matter, then the bowlers might feel a bit of pressure as well. And at that time, Virat Kohli, a batsman like Virat Kohli, who can change the mode between the defense and the attacking style, so he can attack the ball at that time. So in that case, I
And
think a 230 plus can be expected.
230 plus. Both of you had slightly similar prediction for what's going to come at the end of the day. And as we're about to wrap up, I can see a few comments over here appreciating Dinesh Karthik as a commentator. So just before we go, Jayendra and Ashwin, both of you, Jayendra, you go first. What do you think about Dinesh Karthik as the commentator, the way he was sitting in the commentary box? What do you make of Dinesh Karthik?
Yeah, we know him as a good cricketer, but this is the first time, new experience. Looks very good. He's sitting with someone like Sunil Gavaskar, Ian Bishop, Kumar Sangakkara. It's a really big moment for him as a commentator. So yeah, he's a good. What can I say about his commentary now?
And Ashwin, what do you make of Dinesh Karthik's commentary?
Yeah, anything that Dinesh Karthik does, it becomes a different class. For example, if you remember the way he advises Varun Chakravarti to bowl in IPL during the matches of KKR, actually it's a different class. It's a different class level, like how MS does. So this was also good. As a commentator, it is
Definitely,
good for him.
definitely, all our viewers are loving Dinesh Karthik's commentary, just like we loved India's opening batting stand as well. But a lot to come in the coming two sessions, really important sessions for both the sides to set the tone of this ultimate test. Let me remind you, this is not an ordinary game. This is the World Test Championship Finals, the first time we'll get our test champion, and it's going to be either India or New Zealand. Both of the teams, haven't won an ICC trophy in a very long time. Of course, New Zealand haven't won in a very long time. India hasn't won since 2013. Just thanks to all our viewers for joining in, and thank you, Ashwin and Jarendra, for your amazing insights. And just before we go, a small word from our side to please stay home and stay safe and get vaccinated as soon as possible. Thank you, guys. This is Parth Rakta signing off. We hope for amazing two sessions of cricket, just like the first session. We hope much better cricket from both the sides. It's going to be really tensed situation in all the Indian houses, especially after the two wickets that have fallen down. But let's hope the best for cricket. Thank you, guys. This is Parth Rakta signing off.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you.